7 adventurers on their quest for the 12th statuette.
The statuette of Gladradulfa.
Gladulfora. It's the green one.
I thought it was the baguette of Rapadulfra.
This is gonna be a long day. Ask for help, search his place, interrogate...
I don't have any intel on this subject matter.
Let's rock!
Son of an incestuous good!
I didn't invest any points in lockpicking on my character sheet.
This is way more useful than stuffing chairs.
Ah, swell! New skills! My magic shall light the way! What would you do without me?
The Dungeon of Nalbec, the Amulet of Chaos, out now.
Well, friends, did you find Moo, the bravest of the giant miniaturized hamsters?
When I wake up, something is missing, and something is new. Back then, I had to hide in the shadows, where nobody could see me. The light was dangerous. Don't leave me here.
As long as you follow, we will be okay.
I want to go home.
Do you know where you're going?
Are you simply taking me wherever?
Step by step, we will rise together.
When you woke in the snow, your mind was already gone.
I'm a deserter. A dead man walking.
Your brother is your weakness, Celine.
Darian is the only person I can trust with this mission.
We have no choice but to fight this abomination. The corrosion.
Do you know why the corrosion is about to engulf the entire world?
We will find a cure to the corrosion.
You have a choice to make.
What are you ready to sacrifice to save her?
Come and get me!
This is nothing we can't handle.
Follow my lead and we'll get through this.
This will hurt, and not in a good way.
By the will of the gods.
Everyone is dead! What kind of hope is this?
The only kind we have.
Welcome to Tear Caleb.
You're not alone, Darian.
We can hold hands if we want.
You have no right to give up.
This is the story of what we have sacrificed.
Welcome back to French Game Well Played Day 2. Nero just leave us, but we have Soni from thelazy.media who is back. Hi Soni, how you doing?
Hi Billy, it's good to meet you again.
I'm super glad to have you here today. Can you please introduce yourself again for the community here who would not know you?
I'm Soni. I'm one of the founders of thelazy.media, a really small media company here in Indonesia. My hobby is hardware and PCs and playing games probably, and reviewing games, and that's it.
Thank you. So French Game Well Play is hosting by the French Embassy and the French Institute of Indonesia in the context of Novembre Numérique. For 2 days, we have been playing games, we have been hosting talk shows, we have the program for today, so we are going to be playing Shady Part of Me, then we will have a talk about esport, we will go then to the Dungeon of Nahal book, which French people really enjoy, and then Hit and Run, and we'll finish with Exoblast. Are you impatient?
Yeah, a bit. Have you played this, Billy?
Yes, I have played the game. I've played Shady Part of Me. I have finished the game, so I'll try to let you do. Yeah, I did finish it. I love that game. I did play it on my channel a few months ago. I don't know exactly when. But we have Sarah, who is the executive producers at 12 the studio who has created the game. Hi, Sarah. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing very fine.
It's nice to have you here.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm really glad you liked the game. Actually, it's real pleasure.
I devoured it. I had the chance to see the first steps, the demo on Paris Games Week a couple years ago now. So when it launched, I was like, "Yay, let's do it! I'm going to do the game," and I just devoured it. So can you please introduce yourself and introduce your studio and obviously the game?
Yes, of course. So Shady Part of Me was developed by a studio named 12, who's a French studio. We're based near Paris, and it was created for this game. I mean, it's our first game, and it was produced during 4 years of production, I think. We're 7 associates, and well, I think we had very different tastes in games, and we didn't like everything the same, but in the end it was the common ground, and we really enjoyed doing it, so I hope everyone will do too. It's talking about two or one little girl, depending on how you see it, and they are trying to reconcile together. So you will have to go through puzzles, and each of them has different flaws. There is the little girl in 3D, she cannot go into the light, and the little shadow girl, she cannot go into the shadows. So you will need each of them to solve the puzzles and go through the story.
Perfect. So should we start the game right now? Because can't wait to see it again and see how well Soni's doing on it. Are you ready, Soni?
Yeah.
Well, let's go.
I like the art style. It's hand-drawn, right?
Incredible.
All of this is hand-drawn.
Actually, it's entirely made in 3D.
It is?
The whole is in 3D, yes.
It looks so hand-drawn. Oh, it's the renderer, right? Using a 2D.
Yes, it's the renderer, exactly. It's a it's a homemade engine.
So can you tell us a little bit where your influences came from for this game?
Oh yeah. Well, obviously we had a lot of influences in some very well-known games like Little Nightmare, Limbo, Inside, Gris also, that were games we liked and we wanted to get inspiration from. But we also got a lot of inspiration in comics, French comics, like different authors, which made, I don't know how you say that, outlines, drawing in black and white, emotional graphics. There were a lot of research on these directions. Some authors, like, I have like a big hole in my head, Manara, and we also really like Chaboutet, who is also a French author. A lot of big directions were explored. And for the story, we had less time to think about it because the game was very... the scale of the game was changed at the middle of production, so we had to improvise a little, but the idea since the first day was that we wanted to talk about this feeling of reconciliation with yourself. Well, I hope we did it, but I know a lot of people see different things, and I think it's a good thing, so we're glad for that.
Well, I'm guessing that whenever people see different things, it means that it speaks to them emotionally on a certain level,
yes.
And it can never be a bad thing. So Soni, tell us a bit what you're doing as you're playing, as we can understand a little bit.
I actually thought it was paper, but instead it was a wall from the beginning.
Paper wall. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because since all the blotches and everything, it makes it looks like it's paper, but it's actually a 3D world.
Yeah, because like you're just playing the shadows right now, but the little girl is coming through. Kind of see, it gives a whole other dimension to the game. So
I like how the storytelling works.
Yeah, it's just appearing as you go.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why you choose to implement those origami birds? This is a very personal question. I was wondering why the origami birds.
Oh,
Sarah.
At the beginning there were real strong ideas about how we could make play with paper. We wanted to have several kinds of origami, but we didn't have time at the end. And when they were that could unfold and tell stories, because it was supposed to be the story of the character that she has drawn while she talks. The whole game was supposed to be the drawing of the little girl, and so the origami was supposed to be those drawings folded into little birds.
Oh, that's so cute. I never knew the backstory to that. I'm happy I can ask right now. So yeah, we find this little girl.
When I wake up, something is missing, and something is new.
I still love the design of the game. I've been a huge fan ever since I saw it for the first time, and I still can't get over how cute it is.
Yeah, I'm actually mad that I haven't played this game before, and I haven't told my viewers that this game actually exists.
Well, this event is here for a reason, so that everybody who's like you and who never knew that this game existed can learn about it. Okay, so be careful with the lights. Obviously, you'll see every time you want to go to the light, she's like, nope.
I want to play this game more. I think I'm gonna stream this game. Yeah.
You should. You definitely should. Well, I did, and I enjoyed it so bad. Gonna have to hide.
Like you saw, one of the big mechanic of the game is that you can rewind pretty much every time you want.
Which can be really helpful at the end.
Yeah, yes, I wonder why did you put that kind of mechanics in the game, the rewind mechanics. Or what was the what made you decide that it was important to put in the game?
The spirit of it is that we wanted people to relax and play it with pleasure, but not frustration, like a puzzle game can do. And so we wanted something non-punitive, because on a puzzle game you can easily get stuck, and we wanted so that people could get stuck but not feel bad about it, because that was not the spirit.
So for everyone who's asking in the stream, the name of the game is Shady Part of Me. You can find it on Steam. You have the download link right in the chat, and you currently have 50% off. So feel free to go buy it, download it. You will not regret this. The entire story is just absolutely amazing. It's super poetic. It's super fun, and just as hard as it needs to be in the logic, in the puzzles, in all the secrets. And I go for it. It was I think it was my favorite game of last year.
Hey, we have a Game Awards from our own media. I think I'm gonna put this as a nominee. Is this only on PC or multi-platform? I think I love it in Switch.
It's on Switch, it's on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Well, pretty much everywhere except mobile.
Well, I mean, on mobile phone it wouldn't be as... I feel it wouldn't be as wonderful as it is. Like, there's so much detail, so much things to do, and you wouldn't be able to enjoy it as fully as you would on PC or Switch or anything.
Yeah, that's exactly what we thought.
I think you missed a bird.
I did? I didn't see one.
On the left, maybe? I mean, that's not very big though. We're gonna move on so people can see, but next time. Collecting those birds is a really hard thing. I tried to do it when I streamed it, and oh my god, I did not get close to getting the whole. I feel like doing the game all over again just to collect the birds.
Some of them
are tricky.
Oh, yes.
Some of them you have to really look.
Oh man, the stream is not gonna do it justice. I'm only streaming at 720. It looks so beautiful.
It looks awesome.
I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry for everyone who's watching right now.
Well,
I'm gonna restream this game. Yeah, I'm gonna restream the game so you guys is gonna see how it actually looks.
They were waiting. They were looking.
And even the voices, they are both creepy and comforting.
Creepy,
for some
yeah.
reason at the same. It's creepy, but somehow it's comforting to hear them. I feel like all the statues looking at you.
It's
I never
funny how the
noticed
game
that the heads are
actually makes.
moving.
Yeah. Wait, it is? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. They're looking at you every time you're moving. They're turning their head. That is so crazy. I didn't notice it. I think the first time I just did. I feel like doing it all over again. This is terrible.
Oh, I could go there. What?
I never noticed that. There's the bird. Is it a bird?
Yeah,
Oh, what? What the hell? Oh my god. Good job. You're seeing more than I did. What were the biggest challenges and what is the one thing that you are personally the proudest with the game, Sarah?
I think my favorite part is the first half of the tower. I doubt we can reach it today, but the puzzles there, I really love them. They're rethinking the logic and geometric space. It's really nice.
Yeah, I remember it was really awesome. I loved every single part of it. There's no dual moment though. Oh yeah, now you're getting to the part of the gameplay where it gets really interesting. You've noticed the shadow, you've noticed the little girl, now they're gonna interact together. And this is where it gets a bit interesting and tricky. So far you just have to watch and contemplate.
Wait, actually no, actually never mind. I was gonna ask like, never mind. I'm afraid it's just going to be a spoiler. But
oh, okay. Well, maybe you can though. I don't know.
Is she is the shadow part of her, like her like mental state, or is it going there or? Yeah, that's why I'm afraid that it's going to be a spoiler or anything like that.
Well, if it's too much of a spoiler, Sarah won't answer, I guess.
I think it's open to how you feel about it. That was the intention at the beginning, that it was the same person. But I know some people did not understand it that way, so I think it's for now, they're not the same person because they're independent from each other. So maybe one day they will become the same person, but we shall see.
Can we play this game more than 30 minutes, Billy?
I wish we could. Every time we're opening a new game, I'm like, oh, I want to play it more. And then I hear in the headsets, well, Billy, you have 5 minutes to go. And I'm like, oh no, really? This is going so fast. 30 minutes on this kind of game is terrible. Sarah, how long is the game taking overall?
To finish the main story without having all the origamis, I think it's between 5 and 6 hours. And if you want to have all the origamis, it might be longer. Some people finished it in I think the record is the fastest is like something like an hour and a half or something.
An hour and a half.
People are playing like weirdly just to gain microseconds while switching between the two characters at least every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, the main story, I think 5 to 6 hours.
Just the main stories, and if you want to get all the birds, trust me, it's not going to take 6 hours. It's way
7
longer.
to 8, something like that. It's a very linear game, so the main story is the most important part.
Yeah. It just builds in intensity as you go. This is very rare for me because I feel like most of the video games you're going to be playing is going to be, yeah, super entertaining and super fun and everything, but it's rare when you can find a game that gives you that much emotions, that gives you that much poetry, literally. And so yeah, when you mention Little Nightmares, Limbo, Gris, yeah, all those games I did, all those games I loved. So obviously when I heard that the first time, I was like, shady part of me need to go there, and it didn't disappoint. Yeah, the chat is saying that it looks amazing, and yes it is. Trust me. And I'm complicated. Follow me. Let's go. Chat, if you have questions for Sarah, who is here with us today, please feel free to ask them in English and French, or in Indonesian for Soni, obviously.
No, I haven't.
We will translate.
I'm reading it now.
Sure. If you see any kind of question that could be of interest. Oh, you have a problem. Yeah. You're done. Try again. Also the music, though. Can we please talk about that?
Yeah, well, the music, we love the music of the game. I think it's one of the things that we did the best. It was actually Nicolas Guéguin, a French compositor, who made it. He spent a lot of time to have evolutive soundtracks that changes while you change characters. So the music slowly changes every time you switch, and it gives the player the ambience and the feeling of the level. And yeah, we really liked working with him. I think we listened to the music while making the game so many hours. It's very relaxing.
It is indeed.
Yeah, there was some part during developments that when we were playing the music in the bureau while everyone was walking, so everyone could create the game while listening to the music and do something that was in the good spirit.
Is it possible to find the soundtrack somewhere?
Yeah, I like the soundtrack. Is it available in Steam?
Unfortunately, no. We tried, but there were some legal difficulties. There is a YouTube compilation that was made about the in-game music that can be listened to, and it's easy to find. But yeah, it's something we're very sad about. Yeah.
Oh, came close.
Alright.
Jump! Jump! Son?
I want to get the bird.
Yeah, I mean, that bird is just screaming, come get me, come get me! It's terrible. Oh, nope. Good job.
Oh, that was safe.
That was close, that was close. Oh. Okay,
I really want to continue playing this game.
We're having issues this morning. Like the game time seems short. 30 minutes to try all of your games, guys, is way too short for us. The selection of the French game well played is amazing. Can't get over it. Oops.
I'm just gonna stream this game. Definitely gonna stream this game.
Someone just fell in love. And you've only seen like the very beginning of it. You're just getting used to how they work together because there's so much more coming up.
Yeah, and I like how when you start the game, I mean, there's like no preposition and there's nothing. Like you just get dropped into the game, right? Like to the swing, and then everything's just by text, and telling a story just by music and art style. I just love those kind of games.
That's what we were saying earlier, that this is so free to interpretation because as you're going through the story, you're just getting feelings and sensations and emotions, and you made what you just make what you want with them. And so I feel like you're kind of building your own background stories. You know approximately what's happening, but you just go with what's in your guts, literally. I like that.
When I finish this game, I'm gonna contact you back, Billy. I'm gonna ask what you think of the ending. I'm definitely gonna.
Sure.
I'm gonna finish this game.
Feel
one
free.
way or the other.
Feel free. The question has been asked. It took about 5 years, right, to develop the game?
4 years. Yeah.
4. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, 4 years.
Because the chat was asking.
Well, the first years were very slow because we were still trying to understand how you make a game, but then we learned.
Sure. Well, I still think that for a first game, it is incredible.
This is the first game?
This is the first game of the studios, yeah.
My God. What's your next game gonna be like if this is your first?
It's more like, when is it coming out? I don't even want to know what it will be.
When
I want
is
to know
your second game coming out?
Not now. It's pretty long to make a game, but it started.
Oh, cool. Soni, we are going to have to stop, unfortunately.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry. I know how it feels. Like I think I took 2 days to finish the game, and the first time when I had to stop, I was like, no, I want to keep playing. Please do not take this game. But we're gonna have to, unfortunately. Sarah, if you have anything to add before we let you go on with your day, please, this is your minute. You can do so.
Well, thank you for playing the game, and I'm really glad that I could have been here with you today. And well, I hope if you finish the game, you will still like it, and that people will enjoy playing as much as we enjoyed making it. I think that's the best thing I could hope for.
I just love how passionate that sounds. It sounds lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a lovely
Appreciate
day.
your time so much, Sarah.
Thank you very much. You too.
Bye.
Thanks for playing, hosting this. Bye-bye.
I told you yesterday you were going to love this game. Didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I didn't expect it to be this good though. So good.
I know. I told you. I knew. I do not know anybody who did not enjoy that game. At a super high level. Everybody loved it. You'll see, it's going great from the very beginning to the very end. I just love the game. We are going to go do something a bit different because right now we have a talk about esports, going from one point to the complete opposite. Complete. But I mean, hey, that's what we're here for, right? We will be having Julien Damon Ducrot, which coach for gaming Valorant, and we will also have Desiree Kusaro, who are going to be here with us. I don't know if they are already here. Hi, Damon.
Hello, thank you for welcoming me here Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Desiree is
Hi.
apparently coming. So while he's arriving, I'll just set up the context because we all know that the esports wave has been taking everything in its path. 10 years ago, it was a niche. It was super not well known. And today it is a worldwide phenomenon with a growing community that counts almost 5 million people. It's about half and half gamers and spectators. The first esport event was held in 1972 in California, and it's now has been evolving to the League of Legends World Championship Finals in 2021 with 74 million peak viewers watching. So it has skyrocketed with a turnover of 1 billion USD just this year, and registering a growth of 14.5% in 1 year. But we do not know about the athletes. Who are they? Are they really athletes? Is this how they consider themselves? What is it like to be a pro in this sector? And can anyone become a professional player? This is some of the questions that we are going to be trying to answer today. Hi, Desiree, how are you doing?
Hi, fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing awesome, thanks. So we'll let you to introduce yourself for the people in the chat who would not know about you. Maybe we'll start with Damon.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm Julien Ducrot, alias Damon. I've been working both on Overwatch at the start of my career to Valorant. Currently, I'm serving as, and the past year as well, coach and manager for the Valorant roster in OG. OG, which a lot of you may know for its Dota feat as a back-to-back champion on Dota TI. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just serve as a coach for like the past 4 or 5 years, and I've been an esport enthusiast for a longest time now. So yeah, thank you again for having me there.
Haven't we all? Thank you for being here. Desiree?
Yeah, just few words about me. So I'm French. I'm in France, and I'm working in esports ecosystem since 2000, so more than 20 years now. I used to organize esports events. In France, I created the Futureland Associations. It's a non-profit organization organizing a big event in France, Gamers Assembly. Gamers Assembly is a LAN party, so a gathering of players attending each year in Poitiers, near Paris. Many tournaments, 20 tournaments each year. 2,500 players on site, on more than 25k visitors. So it's the biggest esports event in France. And since 2014, I joined ESL gaming organizations. So ESL is the major esports organization in the world, and I was managing director for France until last December. But because of COVID, I had to stop operations in France. And since January, I'm working to develop esports in Africa. So it's my biggest project for now. Already 30 countries in Africa joined my project. And I hope next year we could have something like the biggest African esports leagues for players on African organizers. That's it.
That is quite an impressive resume, let's be honest.
Yeah, sorry, so long.
No, I mean, that's all right. We need to know what happened. Before we start this talk, I would just like to thank our typist again for subtitling all of this talk for Indonesian speakers. So please, guys, feel free to not speak too quickly so they can translate without having their minds blowing. But
yeah, I was wondering what was going on there. Like, that's pretty impressive. Honestly.
Well,
it's really quick,
we
right?
have typists. They're doing it by like as we speak, so feel free to not speak too
Okay. Good to know. Good to
So-
know.
Yeah.
The first question would be, what is esports and how has it changed in the past decade?
Yeah, I think. Okay, I can give my idea and opinion, but I know that Desiree, you're definitely the expert on that one. That's for sure. On my case, the big thing that I've been knowing about esport was obviously the start with StarCraft, Brood War into StarCraft 2 in Korea, mostly with like the culture of PC Bang and the sort, which we didn't really have in the West, either it's France or the United States, etc. It's been there and it's been quite impressive. Like I remember a scene of two finalists for a tournament of Brood War, one coming out of like a plane or alpha plane in Korea, and it was like the people were crazy about it, and then the one was coming through the crowd, and that was crazy. Like it would be very similar to the level of hype that we have today in 2021, but like 10, 20 years ago. So that's been where it's at, and then the evolution is as we know it. Like it became like bigger and bigger and bigger step by step, and honestly it's been more or less like this. Like as Bilishu was saying, it was more of a niche, and now it's starting to become as mainstream as possible, and that's kind of where the goals lays out for business partners, the people, the players, and the staff alongside it.
Yeah, obviously now everybody is talking about esports, but esports has more than 20 years now. And at the beginning, it was really something. Yeah, let me talk lower.
No, you can go. You can go. Just not too fast. You can speak normally.
I'm wondering about them, but yeah, let's go on.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're
So, yeah, 20 years ago, it was just something like a pleasure, you know, for young people playing for the just one keyboard or one mouse on one screen. You know, there wasn't so many money in this practice. But since 4 or 5 years, I think everybody understood that there was something going on with this practice, because before I think people was talking about gaming. But gaming is not esports. Gaming is like you are playing Candy Crush. Yeah, you are playing Candy Crush or you are playing Zelda. This is gaming. But esports is really, you know, a player against another player. So it's really something different. It's really something that can create many emotions in stadium, for example. So it's like sports, and that's something that publishers on brands understood. And today, esports ecosystem is something like $1 billion in the world. Gaming is more than almost 200,000 billion of dollars. So you see the difference. But yeah, it's like for me, Formula One in the cars industry, you have esports in the gaming industry. So it's really important for brands to be present in this ecosystem, because this can create really engagements, you know, of people. It can create a feeling for the brands. So it's really something important now. But you have different topics when you talk about esports in Asia, in Europe, in US, because I think in Asia, on Middle East, on Africa, it becomes more and more mobile. You know, mobile esports. In Europe, it's PC and console. The same in US. So you have to take care of where you are organizing your event, where you are going to develop your strategy on your marketing. So there is many esports. It's not one esports. It's many esports according
Sure.
where you are, where you are operating your events or on activities.
Sure. Who would you say are the main actors and who manages this business?
For now, there is two categories. For me, there are two categories. You have publishers. Publisher like Riot Games. Riot Game is the League of Legends masters. You cannot organize anything in League of Legends without a Riot Games agreement. So this is a part of the esports world ecosystem. Publishers are more and more wanting to handle their own games. So Riot Games, you have I don't know, Garena for Free Fire, for example. We have some publisher wanting really to handle their own games, but you have some big tournament organizer like ESL, like Blast, like many other tournament organizer wanting to handle their own ecosystem. So there is something like a balance between the publishers and tournament organizer for now, and I think it will be difficult for a tournament organizer to succeed because the owner of the games is really the publisher. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, for now there is this fight against the publishers and tournament organizer, but definitely publishers are the biggest actors in the esports ecosystem for now.
Do you agree, Damon?
No, totally. I think it works kind of like this. I would even add that the publisher are kind of the people who like gather the most gains from what esport is growing right now, because you have the concept of skins, you have the concept of all those merchandising more or less that doesn't really transfer as well for organization like esport organizations, like selling merch, like what I have or something like that. So we have something like one of the teams, the esport team, who like took a direction into streetwear, took a very specific direction which allows to really think, oh, can we actually make an actual revenue through merchandising? But the numbers that we're speaking about when it comes to what the publishers gather through the skins and through all these social interests from the people and the millions of people playing, like that's like crazy. And recently, to take an example, Riot Games has been taking out the skins for Champions, which is the finals for Valorant, and a percentage of the skin revenue is going to go into teams. That will be a very important key. And in 2021, it could have been made before, but like right now, it's very important to go into that system of revenue sharing for the teams, because there's just, I know that we need the publishers to have that amount of money that they're gathering, but considering the salary caps going higher and higher and all the investment, even for a tournament organizer, I'm sure Desiree knows tremendous numbers. So like Blast, TSL organizing those tournaments, they're not cheap. Like you need to put certain amount of money. So like there's right now an imbalance on that end that we need to find, and I think revenue sharing from the publishers can really help. For sure.
How do you think that is how esport became so popular? What is the recipe to the success of esport?
Do you want to start, Desiree?
Yeah, I think we have the chance to have something that is natural for young people. Every kids know how to use the phone, the computers, and the console. So there is something like a natural practice for young people now to play. It wasn't the case 20 years ago. So I think that for now, if you want to enjoy a kid or a boy with something, it's more natural to go on the console than to go, I don't know, in a football club or so on. So that's the first thing. The second thing I think is what I call the role model. So you have now some big stars like, I don't know, Ninja or big League of Legends players that's become something like the biggest influencers for young people, and that's really help the esports ecosystem to grow. So yeah, I think that there is really something coming with this, let's say, organizing big show with big influencers is becoming like a music show.
Sure. Yeah.
It's really important to see how we're organizing events. It's not just people playing, but it's really becoming an entertainment show for public.
Sure. Damon, have like something else to add. Do you think this is accessible to anyone? And like, what does it take to become a pro gamer?
I mean, that's kind of the thing I was thinking about with Desiree was speaking. Like, I think there's different type of demography, and there's as well like a question of generations. Like, you go back before 2000, there was not like the connection, like internet, to play between each other from like one part of the world to the other and stuff like that. This is starting to get there, and we're starting as well to get the new generations of kids who maybe doesn't enjoy as much playing football. Maybe they prefer to play video games, and that was the point where in 2000 to 2010 in Korea, you could get your boys and you were like, okay, let's go to a PC Bang and like have fun, and you have this social interaction, which is the main thing about esport. It's to gather, to enjoy ourselves, and to have this, what we have today, with the four of us speaking from each part of the world. This is the beauty of esport. And on top of that, is it accessible to anyone? Technically, yes. Like, on my case, I've been born like autistic, and I didn't have like the best interaction when it comes to like social understanding and the sort. So being in this kind of like direct, maybe hardcore to my mind environment of like a social club, a football club, sorry, maybe that would be too hard. Whereas I found myself in video games. I found myself by talking to people with similar interests through gaming and through internet, And I think this comes kind of similar with people who have physical handicaps. Like, we're starting to grow softwares, we're starting to grow like material to be able to allow those people to like play video games to the maximum, to its fullest, And I think they can find themselves with us, with like any people. And that's kind of what is the beauty of not just gaming, but as well esports. Like, I've seen a couple of very beautiful thing in the past, and that's kind of what we want there, compared to sport or any other industry.
Damon, I'm sorry. Can I ask you about? I mean, you're from a pro player, right? From Overwatch, and then you became a head coach. And what I'm trying, I'm not really into the esports scene, but I have a media and gaming background. But what I want to know is that, I mean, if we compare the sports, especially when we compare it to football players, and I mean, it's a really team game. It's the same. You need chemistry and everything else. And we're talking about like 11 versus 11 players. But then, like in the olden days, we see like strikers and wingers. They end up having only a pretty short career, I guess. Like around 30, they're starting to lower their performance. But then when we come now, like to 2020, we could see that, from a medical standpoint, that every player is starting to have like their peak at actually 33, 32, 31 is when they actually reach that kind of peak. But for esports player, I mean, the general consensus is that usually people say that, oh, they have a short career, or they have issues and things like that. Will it actually go the distance like football players, where they actually can retain their skill set and retain their, like, I don't know, especially players like you, where reaction time is actually really important. And could you actually, manage that? I mean, it's a different thing between footballers where they could actually move somewhere else, where they can read the game, they can pass better and things like that, where, their physical prowess is actually lowering and when they age.
Yeah, so just for the record, although I wished I wasn't a pro player ever, sadly, but I was a coach on Overwatch and then I became coach as well on Valorant. But I've seen a couple of people, as you said, who made kind of the transferring career from pro to, for instance, casters, or pro to coach, or pro to an administrative position. When it comes to like, 25 is the gap, I think, again, in many cases for esports, for us to grow in knowledge, in adaptation and everything, we have to take not the very concrete aspect of, this is a brain to end, link. Like when you start to get old, you can't really have that. This is this. I think there's like a cultural thing, generation thing, and a social setting. First of all, when I was 18, I wanted to like travel the world, get on 13 hours plane from Los Angeles to Indonesia to anywhere, But when you start to get older, and I don't say this is my case, but this is the case for many players or coaches, they started as 18, then they get to 20, then they get to 25. And when you reach that gap in age, you may not realize it consciously, but unconsciously, you're starting to think about many different areas. I have a girlfriend who became a wife. I may have to think about income. What's going to be my future about this? I have maybe a kid who I have to like sustain and everything. And then people start to get a little bit, it's not lazy per se, but it's more like they starting to, settle down a little more, and they don't have the same fierce passion and ambition to like grow every single day into a better player, or if you reach the peak, to keep that peak. I know a player who is 28 years old today, and I think he's gonna be one of the best players in Europe or maybe in the world in Valorant. But that's because that guy has been here playing video game, thinking about the video game every single day. And each one has its capacity as well. Like the capacity in our body, how we were born, or we were thinking, because me, although I really wanted to, I don't think I have the reactive capacity, like being reactive, being aware, like, I need to like flick and I need to be precise. I didn't have that. It was more about this and how I was thinking about the game, about the patterns, about the strategy. And sometimes people can get into their 30s and be the best in the world still, and some needs to stay at like 25 and need to explore. That's kind of what I did, but at a very early age. I was captain of all my teams, always did the plans, always did this, but I'm not a good player. So what should I do? I will become a coach at my own age. I'm gonna like read those books about sport who can like get me a little bit more going about how I need to act as a coach, and then people's going to be like, yeah, but you're like 18, you're 20, you're 22, you can't be a coach. But then by then, those criticism, when I'm going to be 25 and 30, I'm going to be like, I already have 10 years of experience as a coach. You can't really say that anymore. Like, no, I'm in me 30s, I have a wife or kids or whatever you needed, guys, to have me in terms of acknowledgement. I have this now. So it really depends on each person and where they at and everything.
So what is it like, the day of a pro gamer? A basic day?
A basic day usually involves, in the best case scenario, 10 to 12 hours a day. Either it's like a mix of practice with the team and then like your individual practices. And you add on top a little bit of like Vol review games, strat talk, and all those theory crafting that you need to do around the game, because you can't just play and expect to, again, like I was taking a book, like you kind of need to learn, it's still like kind of like school, like you need to have your mathematics lessons, then history lessons, kind of work the same in sport. So that kind of works like this, and people may think, they must do like something very special or anything. No, actually it's pretty similar to the mainstream world on other industry. Like, you just need to be regular, consistent, and very motivated to do not only the stuff that you want to do, but especially the stuff that you don't want to do. Like, I'm taking this book, but I need to read it again because I'm not into reading that much because I'm a slow reader. But this is gonna give me the key to success because there's so much knowledge in those books and in the past that instead of doing the mistake now, why not read about the mistakes in the past? And that's kind of what the players needs to do as well, in a sense, you know? So...
I kind of feel like this is something that has to do with the gaming industry. I don't know about you, Soni, but I kind of understand that you need to do the things you like, but you also have the things you don't enjoy so much to do. And this is a balance to be able to do this kind of job. I don't know how you feel about that.
I don't know, man. I mean, when your hobby turns into your main work, I mean, it's different. I think the mentality for esports player, for them training like for hours, and I just can't wrap my mind around that and their consistency and what they have to show every time they're on screen, and they have to travel everywhere. I mean, just the training part is I think a lot of people who doesn't understand that, oh, it's just playing games, they don't know what behind the scenes are like. And I think that that's something that a lot of people don't understand, especially, you know, like kids these days, at least in my country, at least. I don't think they understand like all the hard work that goes into being a pro player. It's like,
just being in this industry, I think people do not realize, because people see just the gaming part, they see the fun part in the video game, I think, and they do not realize what is around all of that. Do you guys believe that there are esport players are athletes? Is it a thing? Are they real athletes?
I do.
Can we compare?
Yeah, I do. I believe they're
Obviously.
I think too, but I just needed to ask.
But I also want to ask Desiree that when do you think that esports is going to be like really mainstream? I mean, we're seeing football clubs have esports team now, and I think that's like one of the injection where it's going to be a lot more mainstream, where actually a lot of people understand that, oh yeah, this is actually something that a lot of people want. I mean, we're talking about the industry itself. The gaming industry is actually leaping over the entertainment industry. And I don't think people can just turn a blind eye on that.
Yeah, for me, it's already mainstream for kids and teenagers. But yeah, you don't have for now esports competitions on linear TV. But that's another topic because of publishers. Because and I think that now the new generation is not really connected to linear TV or traditional medias. So for me, Twitch TV is already a mass media, and so for me it's already mainstream. But we have Twitch and Ouya and all these broadcast platforms. So for me, it's not a question. For me, it's already mainstream. If your question is when my grandma with looking at esports tournaments, I don't know if it will happen, but
it sure can. It sure can.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wishing like it's going to be like a league, you know, like Premier League, like the League One, like that's where I'm thinking that where it's going to be, like that kind of league format.
Yeah. Just for your understanding, esports is not like one esport. So it's like in sport, you have football, but you have also judo, karate, or I don't know. So you have League of Legends like football, and you have perhaps, I don't know, Smash Bros is like judo, but there is many esports. Some of them are huge like football. I think when you see the reach and the audiences of League of Legends competition is like, I don't know, the biggest competition, sports competition in the world. But of course, if you look at some other games like for now Valorant, you don't have the same reach and audience. But yeah, for me, it's already a mass media discipline, and I'm pretty sure that for some of our viewers now, they are much looking at esports competition than sports competitions. Pretty sure.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna have to cut a little short because we are running out of time. I have one last final questions that we are going to try to answer as fast as we can. What future do you see for esports?
Demon.
With the evolving technology also.
I mean, that kind of linked to the last question about how we can, like the reach and everything, and the mainstream part. And that's kind of what has been going on with the publishers on trying to create a game that doesn't just fit, for instance, West or Asia. We need everyone. We need America, we need Europe, we need Asia. Like that's kind of how it's working there. And the day that we're gonna have a game that gather the interest of like all the countries on each like continent, then we're gonna become mainstream. And this is the future of esports. It's where like all the continents are unified in a sense on that end, on like a specific game or like esports. But that's kind of already what it is. And now just need a little push. And again, about the revenue sharing and all that stuff that has been going on lately.
Yeah, on my side, I think that the first thing is about the platform. Esports is evolving from PC to mobile, and I think VR also will be the next platform for esports. In France, we have a startup, EVA, which is really growing and transforming the esports ecosystem and something like physical esports. And I think we will have more and more kind of sports disciplines growing up. It's the first thing, and the second thing is about the way that organizer and publisher will organize the scene, because I think that players, teams now want to hold and to own a part of the ecosystem. So publishers have to evolve and to share their ownership on esports scene with organizers and players and teams. So that's the next the next frontier for the scene.
Okay, well, this was super interesting. I wish we had like 2 hours more, but we unfortunately don't. So thank you so much, Damon. Thank you so much, Desiree, for stopping by and answering our questions. I'm wishing you guys all the best in the future.
Thanks to the three of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
good
guys.
one. It was a pleasure.
Have a lovely day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
This is too short. Those 30-minute sessions are way too short. I could have been talking for hours.
Yeah, easily. That could just easily be a podcast on itself. That's like
Indeed,
way too
like I can see myself talking with them for like 2 to 3 hours without any kind of issues. I still have so much more questions. And I'm like, oh no, it's done already. Oh, but it's for the good cause.
It's cutting. Yeah, but
It's
30
way
minutes
too
is
short.
yeah. Like we can't
we
have
have to.
like I don't know, man. I think we need like a lot more time for these kind of events.
We should do a shout out to the French Embassy and the French Institute of Indonesia. Guys, next time we want a whole week of this event so we can play the games and so we can talk to the people. Please let us do that. We are going to continue with the Dungeon of Nahalbak. You're going to discover. Have you ever heard of that? Of Nahalbak?
No, actually, I haven't. I just bought the game actually.
Okay, so the franchise is very known. At the beginning, it was a story that you could. I used to listen to that on my MP3, like on the beach or anything. It's a story with a bunch of characters. So they turned it into a game that is called The Dungeon of Nahalbuk, which I haven't had the chance to play, but I can't wait to see you play because I want to know how it turned out.
It's from a what? It's from a book?
So this is... no, it's not really a book. It's kind of a series, but on the audio. Or maybe there is a book, I don't know,
like
but
audio,
this is an audio
okay.
series. So you were just
Okay.
listening to that as you would listen to music, so
Radio.
they were telling you a story with hells and trolls and everything. And it's really fun. I'm hoping that we can have that in the game. And for that, we have Thibaut Nero Eloy, who is the product manager at Dear Villages, who is here with us to discuss a bit about the game. Hi, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, thank
We're
you.
good, we're good.
So can you please present yourself, represent Dear Villages, because we had the chance to hear about that yesterday, and present the game, please.
Sure. So, Dear Villagers is an indie publisher from the south of France. We publish quite a lot of great games we really like. So you saw Edge of Eternity yesterday. We're also representing the Dungeon of Nahalbuk, the Amulet of Chaos, which is the video game adaptation of the Dungeon of Nahalbuk, which was originally an audio saga, then was comic books, and then novels, and now a video game, which is basically an epic parody of classic tabletop RPG tropes like Dungeons and Dragons or this kind of thing. So we have a parody of the stereotypical characters, which consists the main cast of 7 characters of the game. And it's a tactical RPG telling the story of unlikely heroes and less than qualified adventurers going into a very, very weird dungeon, the Dungeon of Nahalbuk, to get an ugly statuette because they need it for ritual. So that's a classical quest, but with very stupid characters and stupid enemies and in a stupid dungeon.
So, Thibaut, just so you know, we have typists who are translating from English to Indonesian. If you can just speak maybe just a little slower, I think they would much appreciate that.
I'll do my best.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to be nice, but I'm thinking about them, and they must be like, oh my god, this is going way too fast. So, should we launch the game so as we're speaking, we can discover it? Let's go.
Wait, let me set up the making sure.
Oh, sure. I'll keep talking while you're at it. So, Thibaut, how long did it take to develop the game, and how many people were on the team?
I think it took some time, between 2 and 3 years. I'm not sure exactly how long. As for people like Artifact Studios, so who are the developers behind the game, I think they have a pretty big team for an indie studio, between 50 to 70 people. I'm not 100%
50 to
sure on this.
70.
I think
That's
so, yeah.
one hell of a team.
They're
Wow.
pretty
This
on
is
the larger
impressive.
side, yeah, but everyone doesn't work on the same projects at once, so yeah.
Yeah, sure. Of course, of course. What exactly were the challenges in that? Like, what were you hoping? Because Nahalbuk in France is a very big thing. I used to be like a very hard fan, and I probably listened to that 100 times. So what were the main point that you wanted to translate from the audio saga to the game?
Well, there were 2 challenges mostly that we had in mind. First, we wanted to keep the Nahalbuk spirit in the game, because we want to keep the same kind of humor. So people who listened to the stories or who read the comic books, they have to feel at home when they play the game. So it has to be funny, but it has to be slightly epic and still fun to play. That's a pretty tight road to walk. And on the second hand, we also wanted new people to be able to discover the universe through this game, especially people who aren't French.
Wow,
Translating
this is
the
where
game
Soni
was
comes in
especially
handy.
particular. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to get his point of view as he's playing. Maybe we'll get something different that French people would. I don't know. So I've never had the chance to play the game, so Soni, let us go through your gameplay, because I'm gonna be watching though.
It's a really good game, you should.
I should.
It's really fun.
I know I should. I've been wanting to.
Yeah. So the story of the game is slightly different from the first season of the show, of the series. It's basically the same beginning, but there's a bit of alterations to it. So even people who really know well Nahelbok will still have something to be surprised by and to discover something. But yeah, the very beginning of it, like this opening sequence, is basically in French, word for word, the opening sequence of the other series, and after that it's quickly going to change a bit.
Is the elf still day blind? Is the joke in the game?
Yeah.
Please tell me it is. Oh god,
I think it is, yeah.
Wait, so now the Nahelbok itself is a comedy, or am I getting that wrong?
Yeah, it's a parody from classical TTRPG tropes. Yeah. So, yeah, the goal is to be really funny. Like it's making fun of classical mistakes and stereotypes that tabletop players fall into. At its base, that's the very basis of it. So yeah, as you can see, you can control the 7 main characters. So there are 7 characters that are already in the original series. So there's the Ranger, who's the self-proclaimed leader of the group, but he's the only one who thinks that. The Barbarian, who's dumb as a brick. The Elf, who can't aim but is an archer. The Wizardess, who's amazingly pretty normal and quite smart, but and the Thief, who's a coward. The Ogre, who can't even speak the common language, and the Dwarf, who's everything bad a dwarf can be. He's greedy, nasty, and stubborn.
How deliberate did you make the running animation for it?
What do you mean?
The running animation on the main character is...
Yeah, it's not meant for them to look good when they run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look how he's walking. This is so ridiculously good looking. I love it.
So ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. This is amazing.
So the game starts with a tutorial in which you're going to play only the Rangers, so you like discover the game and find out how it works, basically. So that's going to teach you, and along the tutorial, you're going to grab all of your companions to have a complete team at the end. So I think we have enough time to show most of it, if not all of the tutorial, so that's good because it gives a good insight of the game.
Oh, great.
This is the perfect opportunity to discuss the matter.
Let us go through as Soni is playing, because I'm not playing, obviously, I'm just watching. And I'm mad about that, because I wish I was playing.
We can probably get you a key if you want one.
I wouldn't say no. Let's be real.
I'll make sure we send you one soon.
And that's how you get
gave my key away.
guys.
I got a key, but I gave it away, and I actually bought it instead.
I really appreciate it. So, yeah, at its core, the game is a tactical RPG with a bit of tight combat. So even though the characters are stupid, the combat is not. You still have to think a bit strategically to win. And the game really rewards you if you have a good strategy and if you take into account everything that affects combat. So like hitting characters from behind, hitting characters with several characters attacking the same person, this kind of thing.
So it's by stamina, right?
Yeah. Well, you have stamina and HP and basically.
Okay. Harried Orc. Wait, why can't I move?
Yeah, I think the game, the tutorial wants you to do something to show you how it works. So like, press T to get details. And now you can kill it.
Go for it. Finish him.
It's the movement that makes me laugh. The animation is
That's the point. Yeah.
That's the whole point, and that's what I really like, because this is the essence of Nahalbok. This is really the essence of it. This is supposed to be absurd, and this is supposed to be fun.
There's something in this game that you know from right off the bat, that the characters you lead and you play and you control are not smart or intelligent or cool. They're stupid and they're really not good at what they're doing. But so are your enemies, so you have a chance. But
just feel like listening to the whole audio saga one more time. This is terrible. I'm going to go back to when I was a teenager. That's not so terrible though, isn't it?
So you just picked up the elf, so now you have an archer on your team, so you will be able to have one character attacking in melee and one attacking at distance, which is pretty useful.
Is she as bad as aiming as she is in the audio saga? Like, do you have chances not to aim?
Well, since we don't want the players to explode with frustration as soon as they get her in their team, slightly less bad than she was.
Okay.
But
it just depends on your own
the
skill.
chances of failure in this game are still quite high. Yeah, it's made your characters ongoing to achieve everything they try. Sometimes they're going to have great results, even critical hits if you get some dumb luck, but a lot of the time you're going to fail things, miss your enemies, hit your allies. That can happen too.
That is
that's a very funny tactical RPG because
fun.
Yeah, you have to minimize your chance of mistakes and try to make sure that your enemies have more chance of making the same kind of mistakes to really dominate combat.
Okay. Okay, so what's happening here?
So right now,
trying to get
combat
them into
hasn't
cover.
begun yet, so you have a chance to place your characters the way you would want them to be in a fight. Since the tutorial, the game is showing you where you can place them and why it's smart, but in later fights you'll be completely free of who you want to put where.
Click on fight whenever you're ready to combat. You'd have to keep on, like, are you ready? Be ready! I want to see the fight. I'm so impatient. I feel like a kid.
So right now your enemy has gone into an Overwatch tactic, which means that he's ready to fire an arrow on whoever moves first. But if you place your mouse on him, yeah, you can see the zone he covers.
Yeah.
So you want to place a character in contact with him to break the Overwatch, so that's what they're trying to do with the thief.
So I'm reading in the chat that there is a DLC coming up next week.
Yeah, exactly. So the game at the moment is available
timing.
on PC and consoles, and we also have the first DLC out on PC, but it's included in the console version, so console players already have it too. And next week, on December 3rd, we're going to release the second DLC of the game, which is called Splat Jetpacks Arenas, and is a chapter that's independent from the story and is mainly focused about combat, because that's all the characters, all the playable characters are trapped in a fighting pit by Splat Jetpack, who is an enemy from the game that you'll see quite often in the game. He's a pain in the ass, basically. He traps them in an arena, and they have to go through all the fights he wants to escape. So it's a bit like gladiator arena kind of thing. And so for everyone who likes combat in the game, it's a great DLC because they'll get 15 different new combat with really innovative mechanics and a lot of mechanical freedom for them to test some tactics and strategies and builds even for the characters before getting back to the main game.
Nice.
And
Sounds
we're also
awesome.
going to release it on PS5 and Xbox Series next week at the same day, which wasn't done yet.
Nice.
I love all the explanation of all the characters. Like, this orc must feel quite lonely and probably would have rather stayed with his orcish family this morning. Like, it doesn't take itself so seriously at all. That's what that makes it so fun. Wait, they automatically attack?
Like in most tabletop RPGs, there's something called attack of opportunity or opportunity attack. Basically, if a character leaves your melee range, you can strike him as he leaves. That's automatic, but that's only once per turn. So, like, if your character covers several enemies, he can only hit one.
So for whoever would like to buy this game, you have the link in the chat. You can just click on it. There is a 40% discount until December 1st. So if you're interested, feel free to go and buy it now. You still have 3 days to do so with the discount.
Yeah, it's a great time to take the game right now. And there's a season pass with all 3 DLCs included, so only one has released yet. The second one is next Friday, and the third one will be sometime in 2022.
Okay. So you just win, congrats! Not too bad.
Yeah, well done, Soni.
My perfect planning. Let's keep going. The others can't be that far.
Oh my god, I just realized the elf's voice is so high.
Yeah, she has a very high-pitched voice, which is why you have an option to mute her.
Wait, there's an option just to mute the elf?
Yeah. In the settings, you have one option to mute the elf and one to mute the dwarf, so if you don't like the voices, you can.
Are they the two only person that you can mute?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god, are you serious?
Oh my god.
This is... I just love the details. I just love the details into that.
Yeah, at first it was just mute the dwarf for a joke, because the dwarf is notoriously an annoying character, but when we released the game, we had some feedback that the high-pitched voice of the elf was literally painful for some players, so we added that one too.
Finally, there you are.
Yeah, well, we had to fight off hordes of orcs.
So that's the Wizardess, and she's dubbed by Felicia Day, if that name rings a bell, in English, which is something we're really proud of, because she's a great person and a great actor.
Looks like some kind of pantry, but it's empty.
He says he only had a small bite.
It's like an album, something that like every kid knows in France.
A lot of people know it. Maybe not every kid, because the audio series originally released in 2001, so for kids nowadays it's quite old, and the humor can be a bit coarse, so I wouldn't recommend it to any kid. But yeah.
Okay.
That's quite well known, and there's a big fan base for that.
It's mostly adults, young adults who knew it. Because it was our childhood.
I'm happy too, buddy.
Yeah, I discovered it in high school, for instance.
Yeah, that's the same.
On his own. Ogres are very sensitive.
I think I discovered it a bit before. But I might be older, so let's not go to that.
Since it's rather impractical to rummage through, we've come up with an interface for you.
And now you get the inventory, because you've got the ogre, and since he's a very strong and dumb character, everyone convinced him to carry all the stuff.
Also, so all of them are, in almost every after this tutorial part, that they're always going to be together.
Yeah, once the tutorial is done, you have the cast of the 7 main characters, so that's all the ones you've seen before, and around chapter 3 of the game, so that's like a bit, a few hours in, but not too much. It's pretty quickly. You get to recruit a 9th character, which is not in the original series. So you'll have there's a choice between 3 characters, and you choose your 8th man from between one of them. So there's a priestess, which is really good at healing, a paladin, who is also a tank and a very strong fighter, and a minstrel, who is good at buffing your teams and can handle himself a little also.
So for everyone who's asking on the chat, because it's been a couple times now, this game is called the Dungeon of Naheulbeuk.
The Dungeon of Naheulbeuk, the Amulet of Chaos, to be precise.
I'm sorry, I didn't have to complete.
I think I have to.
It's all right.
I have to write it, since I don't think the guys at chat knows how to spell Naheulbeuk.
It's Naheulbeuk. As easy as it's pronounced, obviously. But it's written on your screen, though. If you're looking at the right end, it's written the Dungeon of Naheulbeuk. So if you have troubles understanding, you can just watch and retype it.
Right here. There's also on our screen. It's just on the left here. Oh, okay. Skills tree.
I hear something. Someone's coming. Go check. Why should it be me? Rangers are usually the scouts. Coward. Yes, sir. It's a perfectly honorable life choice.
Thibaut, is the tutorial almost done?
Yeah, pretty much. You're going to get, after this fight, you get the dwarf and the barbarian, and then you're done.
Good. Well, Soni, you have
how long
5
can we
minutes
expect
to get
for
to them.
the game? What?
Sorry.
Wait,
You have 5 minutes
only
to
5
get
minutes
done.
left?
Yes.
Wait, I thought I just played the game.
You're not going fast enough.
Time flies
What
fast
do you mean
when
I'm
you play
not
the
doing
game.
fast enough? I've been doing it fast. Oh,
I know.
30 minutes. Wait, it's 30 minutes. I never realized 30 minutes is this quick.
So you were about to ask a question, Soni, and I just interrupt you. Sorry.
I want to know how the playtime, how long could we expect to finish the game?
The main game usually lasts between 30 and 35 hours. It can depend a bit because there are some optional quests, and and of course the fight is quite long. So if you fail the fight, that's some time added to the whole of it. But yeah, the average time is between 30 and 35 hours. The first DLC is 5 to 8 hours on top of that, and the second DLC, which releases on Friday, is about 10 hours on top of that. So if you get all DLC right now, you're going to get closer and closer to 50 hours, and
Which is starting to be a quite nice experience.
Yeah.
They're not much.
So now since you just got the wizardess and the ogre, the tutorial is showing you how you can use them. And right now, for instance, the ogre has a very cool skill, which is that he can hit people with his belly, which pushes them away, and that can trigger the opportunity attack like you used earlier, which is really cool combo.
Make this one?
Yeah.
Kadula. Wait, what does this actually have a meaning? Like Kadula Opong?
Well, yeah. I think it's just belly strike or something like this. So yeah, you see right now you pushed the orc away so the ranger could hit him as he was leaving, and you even hit his buddy orc who was behind it. So that was a really cool combination attack. And the game is full of things like this. Several skills from all characters are made to be used in combination with other characters to maximize their effect. So although the game is really silly because your characters are silly and dumb, and the dialogue is meant to be silly and funny, the tactical combat is very real, and you're really encouraged to think and strategize about how you use your characters.
So we are going to arrive to the end of this session. Sorry, because we didn't get to finish the tutorial, but I feel like we still could get a nice idea of how it's going to play, how the original theme was respected, how you find those funny characters, those funny and dorky people. I really enjoy what I've just saw. So thank you so much, Thibaut. If you have anything to add regarding the game, or if you have any message to pass, this is your time to shine.
Well, the most important actuality we have that I really want to emphasize that we have our next release this Friday. So that's the game coming to new-gen consoles. So the game is going to be available on basically all consoles on top of PC, and we have our second DLC release, so that's really exciting, and we're looking forward to it. And that's
Well, we're looking forward to it too. Thank you so much, Thibaut.
Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Have a nice day.
Have
Bye-bye.
a nice day.
I would like to take just a few seconds to remember all of our Indonesian viewers that you can earn keys of the games on the IFI Instagram. So it will be instagram.com/IFI_Indonesia. All the process is in the stories. So if you want to win free keys to the game that we have been playing this weekend, go there and do so. You have nothing to lose. Soni, this is going to be the end of your moment with me. I'm going to have to let you go.
You still have got time to work. Like, how many hours left for you? Like 2 hours?
Yeah, one hour or something like that. 1 hour and a half, something like that. But I don't care. This is not even work. I'm just enjoying so much all the games and just all the people that are showing up. That I'm just having fun. Did you have fun too?
Yeah, I did. Really appreciate your time and everyone's time. Thank you so much.
I hope you'll be able to run into each other in the future. Please let me know how you felt about the end of Shady Part of Me.
Yeah, I will. I'll let you know.
Thank you. Have a very nice day. Bye, Soni.
Thank you, Willie. Bye.
For everyone who's still in the Twitch chat, we are going to take a short recess. Do not go anywhere. After the break, Neho will be back with us. We will be playing Hit and Run and Exoblast. They will be the last 2 days of this event, so do not miss them out. I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Intrigued by the disappearance of Thomas Kane, is determined to investigate. With the help of mysterious teddy bear, Fenton, Emma explores the huge rooms of Kane Mansion. The only way to pursue the quest is to join forces, each in their own dimension. With the help of her lantern in each room, she will have to think of the best way to progress by creating shadows. It is only these shadows, created by moving furniture, opening valves and using levers and switches, that Fenton can move. Their progress will be complicated or slowed down by magic traps and puzzles to solve. At the end of each chapter, Emma and Fenton will have to contend with massive, horrifying creatures and complex puzzles. Tandem, A Tale of Shadows is fun, immersive, and sometimes tricky. But don't be fooled. Even if you are charmed by the richness and sweetness of the Tandem universe, if you're not clever or fast enough, be prepared to die in many ways. Be strong, be brave, be smart. Available on PC and on consoles.
Mars. When we left our home, it seemed surreal that we would actually reach it. Now, we're here. Our mission: establish a permanent colony, explore, expand, and start terraforming the planet. New leaders arise with different visions for our future. But reality can be harsh. The Martian environment is dangerous, and so is daring to terraform a planet. But we will adapt, plan, and improve. Together, we will overcome the obstacles, transform the planet itself, and spread life. I dream that one day we'll take off our helmets and breathe fresh Martian air. I dream that one day we will call this place our home.
You have reached Tinkin Technical Support. Your number, 356 on the queue. Your estimated waiting time is 3 hours, 50 minutes. Please hold the line. A technician will be with you shortly. Good luck.
7 adventurers on their quest for the 12th statuette.
The statuette of Gladradulfa.
Gladulfora. It's the green one.
I thought it was the Baguette of Rapadulfra.
This is gonna be a long day. Ask for help, search his place, interrogate...
I don't have any intel on this subject matter.
Let's rock!
Right away! Son of an incestuous goat!
I didn't invest any points in lockpicking on my character sheet.
This is way more useful than stuffing chairs.
Ah, swell! New skills! My magic shall light the way! What would you do without me?
And we are back on this last part of the French game Well Play, hosted by the French Institute in Indonesia and the French Embassy in Indonesia. In the context of Novembre Numérique, we are back with Neru. How are you doing so far?
Fine, and you?
Excited for the rest of the day?
Yes, I'm eager to see what games we're gonna play.
So for those who didn't follow, we are going to play Eat and Run for now. The game is loaded and I'm ready to discover how it feels. I do not know what is about to happen. I do not know what is in store for me, but I can't wait to know. I can't wait to find out. So for that matters, we have Maxime Delesse, who is the co-founder of Damnation Game, who is with us. Hello.
Hi, Maxime.
Hello. Hey, how are you doing?
How are you doing? Awesome.
Fine.
And you?
I'm pretty well, yeah, thanks.
So you're going to have to go through the same exercise. You're